Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Richmond team preview. For reals is this time. Alright, so yeah, we all know where Richmond's at the moment. Yeah, they finished, towards the bottom of the ladder. Probably expect them to be there again because they've got such a young side. But could there be any primos or even rookies to start with from Richmond? Alright, so before we get into that, join my open league at 506532. Join the Podmasters as a public 937-841, where there'll be weekly prizes and the winner gets a Supercoach ring. All right. Now, looking at the fixture, first before we do that, there are I do actually want Richmond players. All right, but are they gonna gonna actually be any premium Richmond players? Primos I'm talking about here. Because before I wrote down all these names that'll be coming up, I'm thinking like, are any of these guys actually going to be, top 10, top 12 in their positions? Yeah, maybe not. Might be a couple worth talking about, but yeah, reason why is so they don't play opening round, right? So they're no early season bye. All right, they're going to play, North Melbourne's West Coast, twice. Yeah, they do. All right. Then again, they're like these teams. So yeah, I was trying to think. Wait, why is there no more light green? Oh, because the other light green team is Richmond. Okay. All right. Reason is they've got the round 13 bye, so the second of the mid-season buys, which they only share with GWS. And well, since I've done the GWS video, there's been quite a bit of injury carnage at GWS. So, and some of these players I was considering as well. But yeah, that's why. Just through the other buys, having Richmond and GWS players, make those buys the other 12, 14, 15, 16, just that little bit easier to navigate. All right, so yeah, that's the reason why. But let's see if we can't find some players. All right, starting off in the defense, Nick Vlosten, 482.1k, average of 89.1 last year from 22 games. Oh man, there was one game that stuck out to me last year from Nick Vlosten. He scored like a 160 or 170 or something like that. And I was playing, my opponent had him in my draft keeper league, and that absolutely destroyed me and, has haunted me ever since. But, can we pick him in Supercoach Classic? Well, he is that guy that, can score you those, sort of ceiling type scores, like, even up to a 160. But you'll also score you a 50 and a 60 some weeks. So, for that reason, it'll be a pass. It does take some kickouts though, and the ball probably will be in the back line quite a bit for Richmond. Actually, before we get into that, it was thought that Richmond weren't actually even going to win a game last year, but they've won in round one against Carlton. So, I can't forget Seth Campbell doing that backflip goal celebration. That was pretty cool. Anyway, back to the video. Jaden Short, 456.4k. 84.3 average from 15 games. I'm just going to write it here. There we go. All right, so yeah, absolutely burnt me last year. I should have known better. Actually, I might get in trouble for swearing. There we go. I've picked him in the past and it hasn't really worked out very well. And I was fooled again last year. Picked him, so it's not going to happen again. All right, so yeah, no to Jaden Short. Now that I've said that, it's probably going to go nuts. Sam Banks, 438.3k, 81 average from 22 games. He didn't play in the practice game against Essendon. I've heard him talked about a little bit. Could he improve on that 81 average? Maybe bump that up. You'd probably have to bump that up to at least, 100 or so to be worth it, I think. But I'm going to watch him in the second practice game to see what he does. All right. Next, we've got Sam Grill, Le Grill, the barbecue man. I hope he doesn't barbecue us if we pick him. 172k, didn't play last year. High draft pick. He's one that I'm definitely highly considering. Not only, he's a good player. did pretty well in the practice game, and yeah, he's got that DPP as well, which could come in handy. But we'll definitely watch him again in the second practice game. All right, and then we got Josh Gibkiss. Job Gibkiss. Sorry. 139.6k, 43 average from his one game. And I don't even think that was the full game because he got injured. I just feel for this young man. Hopefully he can stay on the park. I definitely think he could be a good pick. He is like a key defender though. All right. Could he be like maybe a Zachary type last year? He did pretty well. So he's one that I am definitely considering. All right. So yeah, hopefully he can get a string a whole season together. I hope for the young man. All right. Next, on to the midfielders. Tim Taranto, 532.6k, 98.4 average from 21 games. So they're not exactly like your top mid, premium numbers. But I think I read that the coach was saying that they might play him a bit more forward this year. So, could he get that forward DPP? Could they play him forward at the start of the year? Maybe it doesn't, work out. We don't really want, a forward Richmond player, that's, likely going to be in a bottom four side. Do we really want that? Or maybe they say, no, not working, and put him back in the midfield after he's got his DPP. That could be interesting. So, for the start of the year, it's a pass, but something to keep in mind. Just something, once the DPP comes in round 6. I'm going to put these two together. Jacob Hopper, 487, 90 average last year from all 23 games. Dion Prestia for 45.5k, 82 average from 12 games. Both quite injury prone, I think. Even though Hopper played 23 games, I don't know if that's the first time he's ever done that. Probably, if not, probably the second time. Just due to that, they're going to be passes for me. All right, so I don't know. Let me know if you think any different. All right, so pass there. We've got Sam Cumming, who was a high draft pick last year. 176.5k, didn't play last year. Gonna watch him in the practice game again. And I think he did quite well. If they're gonna put Tim Taranto, more forward, does that give guys like Cumming, more, inside midfield time, which would be good. Expensive for a rookie though, as well as Grill. All right, Patrick Rechko. Let's go Rechko. He's come from Geelong, 119.9k. Didn't play last year. Hasn't played AFL at all. He comes across when he got traded. Was he traded? I can't remember. But when I saw his name, he's come from Geelong. I was like, what? Who? I've never heard of this guy. He's like a wing sort of type player. And, could he fill the void left by Camden McIntosh? Maybe. All right. But he is one that we are definitely considering. All right. We've got to see if he's named round 1, though. And they do play in the first game, too, against Carlton. So, we'll actually, know before any other games start. All right. So, he's high on my radar. And Josh Smiley, 119.9k. He was in a lot of preseason sides last year, who was, when he was priced at like 172. Didn't play any games last year due to injury, and I think he's still injured. We're going to have to pass there. But, if he gets going, comes in maybe halfway through the season, could be a good downgrade target, right? Because, he's a very talented young man. So, one to keep an eye on during the season, not at the start, though. All right, on to the rucks. Now, we've got Nank. He's priced at 529.6k, 97.9 average from 22 games last year. I don't think these ruck rules are going to help him at all. He's more of he's not exactly the tallest ruckman, and not the most athletic either. And when I say that, I don't mean he's not athletic. Of course he's athletic, but more mobile type. All right. So no disrespect intended there for Nank, but Yeah, I don't. If there's any ruckman that's not going to benefit from these new ruck rules, I think it's going to be Nank, and it's going to be a pass. All right. Yeah, I think we saw in the practice game, Lockie Blackiston, just jump all over him. Yeah. All right. So yeah, it's going to be a pass for Nank. And Sam Ryan, well, yeah, 166.7k, 38.5 average from 2 games. I think he's injured at the moment anyway. Even if he wasn't, it's going to be a pass. I just don't think he scores enough. All right, I actually did have him on my side a couple of years ago as that ruck forward, and he actually was pretty handy. So I'll always hold that in my heart, Samson Ryan. But also don't forget his debut game where I think he scored a -2 in a full game. All right, or was he subbed out? I'm not sure, but yeah, -2. I'm not going to go with Samson Ryan. All right, now finally onto the forwards. Do we really want any forwards from a bottom team? First off, we've got Jack Ross, who's also available as a midfielder. 423.5k, average of 78.3 from all 23 games. I think I just sort of put him in here because I thought I'm not going to have many players to put in here, so I'll just put someone. But yeah, it's not going to be. It's going to be a pass. All right, there's players that we're going to pick, say like a Flanders type, that are actually cheaper than him, so and have more potential. So yeah, it's going to be a pass. Although someone that does have potential as well, number 1 pick from last year. Or year before, whatever you want to call it, Sam Lawler, however the hell you say it. 298.6k, average of 55.2 from 11 games. Now, he had a few injury setbacks last year, but obviously this guy is an absolute gun. I think they said he's going to get more midfield time, so that's a tick. All right, so after round 6, you should get that mid-forward eligibility as well. He's definitely someone that I am considering. All right, he's not on my side at the moment, but if say like a Todd Marshall doesn't play, might have to find like another 150k, and pay up for Sam Lalore and, hold him, hopefully he stays injury free and, hold him during the buys and then maybe upgrade him after that. Something like that. All right. So yeah, definitely one that I am keeping an eye on. All right. Kelty Lafau, 146.9k, average of 8 from 1 game. So I think he injured, was it his ACL last year? All right. But yeah, he was out injured all of last year. He's playing that sort of forward, second ruck type role. He could be an interesting one. He's one that I'll definitely be watching in the second game. Going to see if he's named in round 1, which I think he should be. Watch, and definitely one that I'm considering. Jasper Alga, 119.9k, so rookie priced, 23.3 average from 4 games last year. Small forward in bottom team doesn't really appeal to me. So I think it's going to be a pass for me, unless we're really got a shortage of forward rookies, which I don't think we will. But I know the Scott Father's quite mentioned him a few times, so yeah, I thought I'd just put him here as well. Judson Clark, I've only put him in here, and Liam Fawcett, average of 30 from 1 game, just because they both played. Well, probably more so Judson Clark. He's actually played AFL level before. Fawcett only the 1 game in his debut year. But both of them probably going to be passes as well. All right. So, yeah, that's it for Richmond. Actually, a lot longer than I thought I'd be talking about Richmond. But, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. All right. Bye.